taking action for you. 7 Action News starts right now.
The big news this morning coming from the TCF Center in downtown Detroit, where the North American International Auto Show is set to have its very first summer show. That show has now been canceled. Coming up, we'll tell you how the TCF Center instead will play a big role in fighting the pandemic.
Plus, the number of coronavirus cases continue to rise across the country and in Metro Detroit. What's being done in New York and other states after the president called off a federal quarantine. And testing for COVID-19 in the hardest hit city in Michigan. How many people have been helped so far and how you can make an appointment. You're taking a live look over Ann Arbor. The rain continues this morning, creating a wet weekend. I'm Simon Chowdhury. It is Sunday, March 29th. Let's head on over to 7 First Alert meteorologist Hallie Vogel. Hallie, we had some rumbles of thunder and lightning overnight, but when is this wet weather going away?
I know it's been a fairly disappointing weekend as far as our wet weather. We do have a few more showers to contend with this morning, scattered for the afternoon, so it does look like at least that opportunity for some wet weather does stick with us, at least for the midday hours, at least until then. And because of the heavy rain we've already had, we are continuing a flood watch in effect for Wayne, Washtenaw, Lenawee, Monroe counties. Those areas are hardest hit by the rain in the past 24 hours, upwards of 2 inches in some spots. So you tack on any more and the ground is just so saturated. So that is the problem. We had a lot of standing water yesterday and some localized flooding. Seeing a few showers redeveloping through Monroe County right now. You can see the radar is fairly quiet, but the cold front has not moved through. It will move through by about 8 o'clock this morning. So up until that, we'll watch for any redevelopment along that front. Right now, seeing some fog out there, about a quarter-mile visibility up toward Pontiac, about a half-mile at Metro Airport, also Adrian. We do have that low-level moisture just sort of locked in place, so watch for that fog. And, of course, the wind advisory. I talked about this yesterday morning. We've been talking about it all day yesterday, the fact that it is going to be so windy once the system exits. So this is up from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. today for winds exceeding at least those gusts of 45 miles per hour or higher, and that will prompt the lakeshore flood warning for St. Clair and Macomb County because of the high waves and those high winds. So we'll talk more about that. We'll talk about rain chances, and let's talk about some calmer weather too in your 7-day coming up.
Thanks, Hallie. The number of coronavirus cases in Michigan continues to rise, and more than 100 people have now died. This morning, there are more than 4,600 cases across the state, with 111 deaths. Across the U.S., more than 120,000 people have been diagnosed with the virus, and 2,000 people have passed away. Meanwhile, 3,200 people have recovered. Around the world, Spain announced its highest death toll Saturday. 5,800 people have now died in that country. Italy has surpassed China for the total number of deaths with more than 10,000. But the Italian Health Institute says there are signs that the national lockdown has been working there. The number of confirmed cases has slowed down in the last few days. And here at home, the news that was shocking and disappointing to many. The North American International Auto Show has been called off for 2020. This was the first year it was set to be held in June. Instead, the TCF Center in downtown Detroit could be the site of a temporary hospital as we continue to deal with the coronavirus epidemic. 7 Action News reporter Jennifer Ann Wilson joins us live from the TCF Center in downtown Detroit. Jen, this is a huge economic blow to our state, but it's also all about keeping people safe.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the chairman of the North American International Auto Show says that this auto show has always been about serving the community and being responsible within the community. And, you know, as disappointing as it is, I think if we're all being honest, we've seen event after event getting canceled in April and in May. Well, June was coming pretty closely, and now we're learning that the TCF Center is one of 7 centers in the state being considered for use by FEMA.